Hello and welcome to the show. My name's Howie, and I have a cast of very talented and seasoned veteran DJs here with us. First one up is Brian. Thank you for being here. We've got Eric with us. We have Mikey Mike and Buddy. So Matt had sent me a suggestion for a show. And I think it's worthy, especially when times get tough, like, that debacle with the COVID where we were all looking for money. And this is what other job or jobs does being a DJ lead you to? For myself, I still rent out equipment. I'll do like the parade. They want music on the street, that kind of thing. So, we'll go down that lane for a bit if you care. Who would like to go first?
I'll give it a whirl.
Alrighty, sure.
I've done computer repair work and that's helped me along when I'm not DJing. I still do it today. Computer repair, and I actually make karaoke tracks, like if they're not available. So I'll do that, but that's for me. I don't sell them. But I mean, that's just to pass the time. But you're talking about making money, and this is a family show, so I can't say what I really do. But
you need to move the
computer repair is what I do. Yeah, computer repair is what I do, basically, on the side, if DJing. But thanks, Matt, for that idea, and thank you, Howie, for doing this. Good idea.
Excellent.
For sure.
So, okay, Matt, it's your question. What do you do?
All right. So, I think, a couple of things, and it sounds like this question might have went a couple of different ways. So I do work a job outside of DJing. So some of those skills translate because in DJing, especially in public events and stuff like that, I have to market myself a lot. I'm responsible, to a degree for promoting where I'm at too. They're bringing in karaoke host or live DJ performance for a reason. They want to gather that attention. So I apply those elements of communications, flyers, video, things like that. As far as skills that have come outside of DJing, and I think a big one that we talked about, I don't remember if it was off the air or on the air last time, was kind of coordinating. I've never really marketed myself as that, but I just feel like such a timeline expert now, like putting together a wedding or a party. I feel like that's almost a no-brainer. I don't know that I would know everything a coordinator would know to do and rounding people up all the time and all of that, but just as far as that structure of an event. So it's amazing how you get into something like DJing where you're playing music and connecting with the audience, and you develop these other skills, or you sharpen these other skills that could lead to other business ventures for you. So that might be a route to take one day, either that or now I have a manager at one of the bars that I do karaoke at, who is interested in me doing some flyers and graphics for them, for other nights of the week, nights I'm not there. So I'm going to discuss that further with them too. So really interesting how that works.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's funny. You should mention the coordination thing. Brian actually had that as a topic. What was it, 5 years ago or so? It was way before COVID, and we came up with the term day of coordinator. Like a coordinator would make sure the flower people and the linen people are paid and on like that. But then at least in my experience, you hardly see them, or you only see them for a minute. And we're the day of coordinating.
I usually talk about
Yeah.
being like a ceremony director. I try not to talk about coordination or planning, and that's for somebody who does floral and stuff. I'm just there to kind of help them with the structure of the event, so I'm directing it. Okay, that's how I like to kind of phrase it. I've never. Well, that's not true. I was going to say I've never done it without DJing the event as well, but I didn't DJ my daughter's event and I directed it. So, that's just because I was, actually participating in the event. So, that's why I did not DJ it. Wavy Davy DJ'd it, but
I mean,
that's just like an add-on service thing.
Yeah, you kept
a lot of that could have came out of your own I apologize, Howie.
No, Wavy Davy's really cool guy. He's just so laid back. It seems like you kept everything in the family there's even video of Brian dancing, and he does a pretty nice job.
I've got to see that video.
Yeah.
I bet Brian can cut a rug. Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I wasn't enjoying myself. It's not like the old days where you would dance and it was like, hey, this is fun. And I was like, okay, I have to do this. So I got to do it like this. And it kind of looks right, but it's a lot of work. And it's not like I'm thinking of every move that I make when I do that.
Come on, you got moves. You don't know.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But it's funny that you bring up coordinating, Matt, is because I think every DJ in here has become a coordinator at every wedding we've done, whether we liked it or not. Am I correct? I mean, we've
coordinator, director, whatever. We do the day of stuff.
To some level, because I mean, we're so involved with the timeline,
Yeah. I mean, I just personally, and I know that there's others that do it. Things never go exactly as planned on paper, but we always give the photographer a heads up, hey, in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, this is going to happen. They're going to cut the cake. They're going to do the first dance, whatever. But that's just part of our job. I mean, it's just morphed into part of our job. Not like the old days where I remember they used to actually hire an MC and we would just play the music. That's all we were there for.
Thinking about starting a new service. Where I help people with their delivery of speaking. So what I would do is I would hook a car battery up to them. Every time they said or I would hit this button and shock the crap out of them.
I thought you
see if they actually stop using these repetitive words or try to fill space with I think that might be a lucrative service.
That could work.
It could work.
It worked for Jay about him, like, to tell you the truth, or honestly, and you kept after him and he doesn't say it anymore.
Well, to be honest.
To be honest.
To be truthful. Well, to be blunt. It's like you're saying the same thing, just using the word blunt instead of honest. Whatever. Yeah. I just feel like that. Well, when I watched the show with Jen, I know this is not the topic, but when I was watching the show over on John's channel, the live broadcast tonight, the amount of times that Cubby and Dan said, but I'm like, are you kidding me? This is a show for DJs? There has to be a training method for this. I know this isn't our topic, but someone should take the lead on this. And there should be a training method instead of just saying, take Toastmasters. No, no one's going to do that. So there needs to be something that I feel like is more DJ centric they can do to fast track them, to help correct some of these verbal tics that I think a lot of DJs have. It would serve us well.
That's a good word for it. Verbal tics. I'm guilty of that myself.
We all are to an extent, and some of it is natural.
Yeah.
When it becomes repetitive, that's when it gets weird.
Yeah.
And honestly, instead of just throwing out a problem and not, instead of just throwing out a problem and not offering a solution.
Right. That's not good.
A good solution would be if you are doing any kind of recorded media like this, go back and watch it and think to yourself, How many times do I say the word how many times do I say and stuff like that and things like that? You're going to shame yourself. Trust me, I know. With the YouTube videos, I know.
I did that after you started the DJ Video Cave, and I've gone back, to like very old videos, and even with Rachel, we laugh about it. I mean, our presence was not there. Our inflections were flat. A lot of ums and ahs, and I was like, oh my god, I felt
Nobody's natural. Yeah. Like I say, it's not necessarily always a bad thing, but when it becomes repetitive, that's when it gets weird.
Right.
When you're saying the same thing over and over again, it gets weird. Or when you're trying to fill every space with I watched a video with the charismatic voice. You watch her.
Yes, I have.
And one of the recent songs she did was Depeche Mode, Enjoy the Silence.
Oh,
and at the end of the song, it was a pause for about 5 seconds, and then he says, enjoy the silence. And she was talking about how powerful silence is. And she's right. When you are speaking, instead of filling a gap with when you're trying to come up with the next thing to say, leave that gap. I do it all the time. I have to, because my brain doesn't work like it used to. Right. So just now I made a pause and I didn't fill it with an I could have. I don't think you guys are that interested in hearing the sound of my voice, though. It's okay to take that pause.
There's people into all kinds of things out there.
Yeah,
and with that, we'll pass the baton to
neither here nor there. Just an observation.
Yeah, good observation. Go ahead.
Buddy. Business opportunity for somebody.
Was that, buddy?
Hey, I get into. Buddy, go ahead, buddy.
I don't know. Did you get it wrong, Mikey?
No, I thought you were this, buddy. Or me, definitely.
Go ahead, Mikey.
Jump on and go.
Mikey, go ahead.
Graphic design, I get into that. I went to school for, and people looking for business cards, venues looking for some, like Matt said, brochures, stuff like that. And even photography, you get into that, you just base it out and keep flying with that. You don't have to be a professional photographer. I don't have all your equipment. As you can see on my Facebook page, I take a ton of pictures when I'm DJing a wedding, and next day or the day after, I post them up on Facebook, and I go from there. It's promoting myself, and bride and groom are happy with it. And also, like with the venue, you get in there, take some nice pictures prior to the event. They love it too. So it's promoting their business, your business, and it's a lot of fun. You could really get into it, and it could be very time consuming once you get into it. You're opening up Photoshop or Illustrator and do a lot of nice stuff with it. But that's how I passed my time during COVID. There was just dead. You really couldn't do nothing. So just started taking pictures that I had already and started recreating stuff from them.
Oh, that's great.
Can I throw something in?
Yes.
The way you mentioned.
Wait,
sorry.
Matt.
That's terrible.
I started out with it.
Look what you started, Brian.
Yeah. I could reduce Matt's rhetoric like a fraction. And it goes like a 50-100 to a 1/2.
The terrible thing is, I know so much better than to do that. It's just one of those habits.
Yes.
Well, Mike, now you're thinking so hard to not do it. That's the other thing that happens.
It's a good thing.
One thing I've noticed a lot emerging in a lot of these groups of, wedding groups and everything. Anyway, are people marketing themselves as content creators for weddings and events now?
Yes.
Not photographers, not videographers, but people who do essentially what we're already doing when we're at these events.
Yes.
By taking these pictures, posting them, promoting the event, getting some content out there using the hashtags a couple might want to use. That may be a good business venture for us. I would hate my hesitation in selling something like that is if I end up not having the time during that wedding to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it would be something that I would want to bring an assistant along to do just to make sure it's covered. But
yes,
just to think that's something we're already doing essentially to promote ourselves and to promote the venue and to give the couple some extra memories and to remember us by. But there are people making a business opportunity out of it. So that could be something for all of us to consider.
You scared Buddy away.
Yeah, you scared Buddy.
Apparently I did.
I worked with a couple of videographers, and I'll tell you, they spent the whole day with the bride and groom. I mean, they were there from 8 o'clock in the morning to the end of the wedding, which would be like 10 o'clock here in northeastern PA. And when they got the video back to bride and groom, they sent me an inbox, hey, Mike, we're going to post a video up from our wedding. And I look at the video, and this person was there 12 hours, and it's a 7-minute video, and charged $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. One charged close to $10,000. That one was about 12 minutes long. And like, unbelievable. How could you be there, spend so much time, and just shorten up all that video footage that you took into 7 minutes? I mean, you don't want to make a half-hour video that you want to post on Facebook, but that's what they got of their wedding, was a 7-minute video. I'm like,
it doesn't mean that they took video for 7 minutes. It means they edited it down to 7 minutes.
Oh, yes, they edited
and that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, yes. I mean, you're not going to show the whole day, but I mean, at least you're paying this person anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000, and you just come up with a 7-minute video. It's, to me, that's money wasted.
It's the effort that goes into it. I was just watching something on Mad Max Fury Road, and they were talking about how George Miller's wife, I don't remember her name, she actually did the editing on that film. And she went through several hundred hours of footage to come down with this 2.5-hour long movie. So she took the best of the best of the best and edited it down to what we saw in the theaters and what won awards for editing and cinematography and things like that. So,
hey,
there's an argument for that too.
Oh yeah.
Now, hold on, everybody. Just a second. We got to get Buddy in here before he disappears to the ethernets.
The internet gods called me back for a bit. No ums.
That's
the funny thing is that with what we do, time management, with looking at coordination, time management, anything we do with the wedding, not just music side, but everything else we do with it, we can use that in other areas. And when I worked in management and retail, I took a lot of that and brought it into the business. And one of the things I did a few years ago for a few winters, because winters, I don't do a lot of weddings in wintertime here in Chicago. There are a few, but there's not as many as, spring, summer, and fall. So I did snow plowing. But a lot of things I learned in my business for DJing, I then put into the snowplow business. And when I worked for the snowplow businesses, time management is an important thing. That's one of the things we know very abundantly how to do. And that's one of the great things to look at. One of the things, though, Howie, we don't want to forget our sponsors either.
Yeah, you missed that.
Yes. We don't even have the sponsor reel going.
Yeah, it went away.
We'll take a moment here, folks, and recognize our longtime sponsor, DJEventPlanner.com, and those and the others down below when this gets published to YouTube. Give them a shake there, help us stay on there, and we'd appreciate it. So, anybody else have anything to add before I move on to something else?
Well, quickly, I mean, the only thing I really talked about was the directing thing, but what I'm doing when I'm not DJing is usually consulting. So that involves working with the companies that make equipment and presenting it to the users of equipment. And it's kind of cool because I can be the middleman there. I kind of understand where they're coming from. I kind of understand where the end user is coming from. So I'll do videos on that.
Mm-hmm.
That is related, and that is what I do during my downtime. So I understand that everyone can do it, but I'm in the position to do it, so I'm able to do it.
Yeah, you're
Nice.
you're like the perfect example of the original topic was what other jobs does one do, related to being a DJ. And you did that Swisher Sweets thing where you actually built the whole thing,
Yeah,
went on the road, teched it, and ran it.
sure. Yeah, that is something. I mean, I'll do something like that,
Mhm.
but on a consistent basis, I'm not doing that. I've done it before, and
Right,
I do it
right.
occasionally. I've done it twice for them.
Right. But it's money
Yeah, sure.
you have. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
I did the same thing up in Lake Placid. I did one job for them up there, and Eric after show came running out of the building, grabbed me and pulled me up in there, and he goes, "They just said this was the best show in 40 years, the best production," and just putting I forget who was mentioning about possibly doing other things, that to me would be kind of like over promising. If you don't get it right, it would be under delivering. And I didn't promise anything other than what I do. And I did do some extra things. As a result, I got hired 2 more times, which was extremely lucrative to go up there. So that's, who was that? Was that you, Matt, or was that Buddy about? Do you guys remember?
I was talking about how we used I used our time management in other things in other areas.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Any job you do, you learn something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
No, I was
Stevie was
talking-
young, she was
Yeah.
talking, well, I don't want to go work at Subway or McDonald's. It's like, well, you know what? If you go there and you work at Subway or McDonald's, you're going to learn something. Even if it's that you hate working at Subway or McDonald's, you're going to learn something. And you're going to take that with you. I was in the car business for a long time. Got out of DJing full time, did that. Learned tons of stuff in the car business that I apply to what I do here.
Mhm.
I used to bag
We're
groceries.
always learning something.
That was my first job, and the first day of training, the first thing they taught me had nothing to do with bagging the groceries. They trained me on people skills. So, my gosh, how that translates
Learn how to package
everywhere.
learn how to load
Yeah.
stuff.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah, I think most of us have done jobs that, when we're still in high school. And yeah, that was the number one thing. The very first thing was they taught you people skills, and that you always be upbeat and greet the customer. If they ask you where something is, because I worked at a supermarket, you don't go, "I'm busy now, but it's over there in aisle 7, No, they said, no, you drop what you're doing and you take them over and show them, and do it in a pleasant manner and wish them a good day, go back and start stocking shelves again, I mean, it just, it seems like common sense now, but before it was like my attitude as a 15-year-old was like, they have signs up there. Why do I have to take them all the way over? But,
Up on Home Depot, somebody actually did that for me. They
yeah,
actually
but,
brought
I was a cocky
me over to
15-year-old.
where I had to go. Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it teaches you customer service skills.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It did me. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I think we've exhausted this topic. Unless someone has something else to say, we'll put a